So we already got a Blu-ray and 4K release of Godzilla Minus One in Japan, but a lot of people are asking, when can we expect it in the United States? Well, I may have some answers for you. Stay tuned. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, I wanted to provide a little bit of clarity on the Godzilla Minus One physical media situation in the United States, because I get this question all the time. Ken, when are we getting Godzilla Minus One in the States? Well, what I can tell you guys is I've got a little information here today from a website that I stumbled upon because so many people were asking me this. I actually just looked it up on Google and I found this article that came out just 4 days ago. Now, what I will say is I do have some answers, but also I don't have answers, if that makes any sense. And what I can tell you guys is expect to wait just a little bit. Be patient. Going ahead and getting into it, guys. There has already been a Godzilla Minus One 4K and a Blu-ray release. Actually, there's multiple releases of this movie on 4K and Blu-ray, but they're all in Japan because the movie was made in Japan. It came out in Japan, so it makes sense, right? That would be the first country to get Godzilla Minus One on 4K and Blu-ray. Now, I believe you are able to import this in the United States. It probably costs you quite a bit. But I do not believe that this release, guys, I'm looking right here, it does not have English subtitles. It only has Japanese subtitles on all the releases that I'm scrolling through right now. So yeah, this came out on May the 1st. So this is actually out right now. I was looking up some unboxing videos on YouTube. This Digipack Deluxe Edition of Godzilla Minus One on 4K is stunning. I hope we get something like that in the States. That would be really awesome. But there's also, like I said, there's a regular Blu-ray edition. I believe there's a regular 4K edition. There's multiple of these like deluxe editions, different types of them. And there's a Godzilla Minus Color Blu-ray edition as well. So there's a lot of different editions of Godzilla Minus One floating around. 4-disc editions, 2-disc editions, 3-disc editions. Like there's tons. There's at least like 12 of these special editions in Japan right now. But a lot of people are asking, look, it's in Japan. It came out. When can we expect it in the United States? Well, before I tell you, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, guys, all the time. Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love. All that stuff there behind me every single day. So if you like that kind of content, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button. And then comment down below, guys, did you see Godzilla Minus One in the theaters? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how much you want Godzilla Minus One on 4K or Blu-ray in the United States in that comment section below. And just to let you guys know, I did see this movie. I saw it in the theaters. I actually took my son to see it. It came out in December because the movie was getting so much hype, and he loves the American Godzilla movies and the Kong versus Godzilla movies. And I'm like, you know what? Let me take him to go see a real Godzilla movie, a authentic Japanese Toho Godzilla movie. So we went to see that, and he really enjoyed it. So, and I did as well. So I'm just as excited as you guys are to get this movie in stunning 4K with the Dolby Vision, the HDR10, all the bells and whistles, because that's what it does have in Japan. It's got the Dolby Vision. It's got the HDR10. It's got the Dolby Atmos, the Dolby True HD 7.1. So I fully expect this is going to come to the States and get all those bells and whistles as well. They have to, I think this was the most profitable Japanese Godzilla film in the States. So they have to know that people are clamoring for this release in the United States. So like I said, guys, it's going to happen. Now, when will it happen? So I stumbled upon this article, and it's on Dexerto.com, I think is the website name. It's very hard to pronounce, but I will link this article down below in the description. And all it says at the top, guys, is when is Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray coming out? When is the Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray out? That's what the title says in the States. So it says, is there a Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray with the movie dropping on streaming in Japan? Here's what we know about its physical release date. So this article goes on to talk about how it's streaming exclusively in Japan, which that's the thing as well. You can get on, I think you can get on like Japanese Amazon Prime and maybe get it over here, but it is only streaming available in Japan. It's not available to stream in the States unless you have other means of acquiring the rights to stream it in the States. So it goes into the streaming stuff a little bit, and then it talks about the Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray box set that was released on May the 1st, 2024, but it's only in Japan, and it doesn't include English subtitles. Like I said, currently there is no release date for a physical edition in the US. And then it says you can find more details about that impressive physical release here. It includes cool art cards, special bonus features, and more, which I hope we get all those bonus features here in the States as well. If you can stomach the shipping costs to get it overseas, that Toho release is your best bet for owning the movie. But of course, if you want to watch it and actually understand it, or maybe you just want to watch it and get all the visuals, I don't know. Or maybe you just want this collector's edition release because you don't think it's going to come out in the US, but just know that it doesn't have English subtitles. It doesn't have English dub. You will not be able to understand this unless you learn or you already speak Japanese. Will Godzilla Minus One get a Blu-ray release in the US? And I'm going to give some context to this here in a second that's not in the article, so hang tight for that. Given Godzilla Minus One's commercial and critical success in the US, there's a good chance, I would say a great chance at this point, a physical release in the Western world will come in 2024. So they're saying they expect it to come this year. With a strong box office showing and the film being an Oscar winner for visual effects, we'd be surprised if a disc release doesn't make it to the US and beyond. So I guess they're saying maybe Canada could get this, the UK, all the other countries. Hopefully Australia as well gets Godzilla Minus One. On Reddit, one user speculated, I'm not expecting it to appear on streaming or DVD Blu-ray until almost Christmas of 2024. I've actually said this very same thing. I said it in a live stream when it first came up. Somebody asked me about this, and I said, I expect this to come this Christmas. It just feels like it would be a nice Christmas release to come out, and it would be exactly 1 year after it released in Japan. So Toho always waits a few months after releasing the Blu-ray in Japan to release in America. And like I said, just giving you some context, we did have Shin Godzilla, which was also a Toho film that was released in the theaters in the States on October 11th of 2016. And exactly 10 months later, a US Blu-ray came from Funimation on August of 2017. So we did get the Blu-ray release of Shin Godzilla, but it took 10 months to arrive to the States. And we're getting ready to explain why here in a second in this article. But like I said, I expected it to be about a year. And I think it's going to be a little bit longer for this one because it did do so well at that box office. So getting back to the article, it goes on to say US and Japan are the same region in Blu-ray and American disc. I actually didn't know that. And American discs are cheaper than Japanese ones. So Toho does this to try to minimize Japanese customers importing American copies. So basically what they're saying is they wait to do it in America because it's cheaper to produce disc over here. So if they made it in America, then people that live in Japan might want to import from America to get it at a cheaper cost point. So because of that, they let it breathe a little bit in Japan first before it gets an actual US release, which again, makes perfect sense that they would do that. So what my big takeaway from this article, guys, is we'll probably, I would say 99%, a 99% chance we will get Godzilla Minus One on 4K and Blu-ray. I don't think it'll just be a Blu-ray like Shin Godzilla because we're in the thick of the 4K format. We're going to get this on 4K. We're going to get this on Blu-ray. I imagine we'll get a nice steelbook as well. Now, I really don't know who's going to put this out. Will Funimation also put this out in the States as well? Or will we get somebody else put this out? Maybe a boutique label, perhaps. I honestly have no idea who will be distributing this in the US, but it'll definitely be interesting to keep our eye on for sure. And it says, with this in mind, and the May release in Japan, November 2024 could be the potential Godzilla Minus One Blu-ray release window in the US, which I'd say is probably a good bet. November, December, right around that holiday season. And this thing's going to sell like hotcakes. I think a lot of people are going to pick this one up in the States. I'm not saying it'll sell as well as Oppenheimer, but being so this movie did so well in the States, it was Oscar nominated. I think a lot of people are going to want to pick this up. Hopefully they have the Godzilla Minus color version as well. And then it goes on to finish up the article by saying that's all we know for now, but we'll update when we hear anything new. And that's pretty much what I'm telling you guys. This is all I know as of right now with Godzilla Minus One. And I will update you guys. Look, when this thing gets announced, it'll probably warrant its own video. I will probably do its own video. It'll definitely be front page news on the Physical Media Report, which I do every single Monday on this channel. So there you have it, guys. That's everything that I know after doing just a little bit of digging on Godzilla Minus One. But like I said, we will get this at some point. It's just going to take a little bit of time because it's not our movie. That's just what it is. It's not our movie. It's Japan's movie, and they're going to decide when they want to release it in the States. Now, they'd be stupid and not release it in the States because that's extra money on the table. But I understand them wanting to, you know, keep from the importing of the American disc. They want to try to sell as much in their own country that they possibly can before having to feed into all of those imports in the States. But like I said, guys, that's all the information that I have on Godzilla Minus One. Hopefully I provided a little bit of clarity. Like I said, I had some answers, but I also didn't have some answers. But I would fully expect this in November or December of this year, which may disappoint some people. Maybe you wanted it right away, but we just can't have everything immediately, guys. Sometimes we got to wait. I mean, we're waiting forever to get certain movies on 4K, so we just got to wait just a little bit longer to get Godzilla Minus One on 4K and Blu-ray in the States. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below, guys. What do you think about this whole situation? And I'll see you next time.